So from conservation point of view, display cases are generally a very good thing, but the one drawback they have can be the materials they're made out of. So all materials except from glass and metal give off small amounts of gases. And in a normal room, so's the floor, the carpet in here, the paint on the walls will be giving off these gases. There's enough ventilation, the air moves around and you get a very low level that doesn't really cause any problems. In a showcase, because it's all sealed in, that concentration can build up very high. And we found with a series of object types, particularly metals, you can get some quite serious problems. So metals like lead can corrode within a few days in an unsuitable showcase. The best way to make sure the materials you're making the showcase out of is to have them tested. There's a test we use called the Oddy test. Most of the manufacturers know about this. Many big institutions like the British Museum do the tests and put their results online, so you can look at their results and say, yes, this material's been tested. It's much better to use already tested and passed materials because you need to organise the test and it takes time. But essentially, if it's passed the Oddy test, it is almost certainly safe with any kind of material. Recently there's been a move towards some more complex testing which looks at the gases coming off, and there have been some issues with that testing, so I would recommend ensuring everything's passed the Oddy test. So what we essentially do is we take the three metals that have been found to be a problem in museum collections, and we try and enclose them in a little mini version of the showcase. So as we put them in a glass tube, we add 2 grams of whatever material it is we're testing. We add a little bit of water in a tube to make the humidity very high to make it a very aggressive test, and we put it in an oven at 60 degrees C and seal the whole thing there with the 3 metal coupons: silver, copper and lead. Because we want the results in a short period of time, we don't want to wait 3 or 4 years, we try and accelerate it. So as we make sure the relative humidity is very high, we run it at 60 degrees C. There's probably more material there at 2 grams in a small tube than there'll ever be in a showcase, and we make sure the whole thing is very tightly sealed. After 28 days, we take the test apart, we look at the metal coupons. If the lead hasn't changed, it's fine. If there's white corrosion on the lead, we'd say that's not suitable for permanent use. Similarly with the silver, if it's still quite a shiny metal, that's suitable for permanent use. If it's blackened to a big degree, we say, no, we don't, that material shouldn't be used to make a showcase. And one of the nice things with these tests is there's a lot of information online. You can actually use other people's results. You don't necessarily have to do them yourselves. For this materials issue and metal corrosion, the easiest way is probably just to put some small metal coupons in the case. And normally with the Oddy testing for this, you'd expect the odd metals that are going to be problematic will be silver, copper and lead. So as if you put small coupons in the case, then just look at them with your eye. If you can't see anything after, say, 2 weeks or 3 months, there's not an obvious problem. If you can see dramatic changes, if you can see white corrosion on the dark grey lead, or your silver begins to blacken, or the copper shows green corrosion, then you have a major problem. And if you have those metals there, you're going to need to do anything about it. But for most cases, you don't see that. Leave the coupons in for at least a year. For many environments, things get a lot worse in the summer. And look at the coupons again. If they're fine, then they will have changed slightly. There is some online guidance on this as well, which I can direct you to. They'll be fine. And you can actually leave the coupons in for multiple years. We've got showcases with coupons that have been there for 25 years, and we know the environment's very good because they're not. They haven't changed. Okay, so in this showcase we have a number of silver medals, and the silver will tarnish due to gases in the air. If our showcase materials haven't been tested, that can make this much worse. But even if the materials are totally inert, the gases will slowly get from the outside to the silver. Another issue that you frequently get is some of the other materials in the case can speed that up. So these poppies, I don't know what they're made out of, but if they're wall or if they've got dark dyes, that can accelerate the tarnishing of silver trapped within the case.